Welcome to Top 30. I'm Kristen Smith.
And I'm Richard Bacon, and here are your top 30 stories in 30 minutes.
A new study says weight is more than just a number, especially if you're putting it on. Researchers at Stanford University found that gaining as little as 6 pounds causes thousands of changes in the human body. Scientists asked a group of overweight men and women already in another study to add calories to their diet for 1 month. Scientists found over 300 genes started working differently or turned off with weight gain. Some changes were associated with a heart disease known as cardiomyopathy. They also found changes to microbes that protect the body from germs and break down food to release energy. Some of the changes increase risk of type 2 diabetes. They also found weight gain impaired the immune system. Those in the study became more prone to inflammation. The study's lead author said weight gain is a systemic disease, not just affecting your fat, but affecting your whole body. There was some good news. When the study was over and the participants lost the weight, almost all of the changes reversed. The Stanford team had a key takeaway: don't gain the weight in the first place. The 2018 Grammys belong to Bruno Mars, who cleaned up, taking home 6 Grammys, including the coveted Album of the Year award. But what people can't stop talking about are the stellar performances by the industry's top artists.
Not your neighbor, not your baby, not your equal, not the title you want me under. Oh, hell, king, kill, woke up.
Kendrick Lamar set the tone for the show, kicking it off with a politically charged performance that set social media on fire. @Judson Collier tweeted, "Congratulations to Kendrick Lamar for taking the title of Best Grammy Performance from the previous title holder, Kendrick Lamar." Kesha wowed with an emotionally charged performance of her comeback hit Praying, reflecting her own experiences as a member of the Me Too movement. She was joined on stage by performers including Camila Cabello, Cyndi Lauper, and Andra Day. This year's host, James Corden, was great. All in all, music's biggest night was a hit.
America's credit scores are going up, with the average hitting a record of 700 last year. Although it's a strong national average, when you break it down by age group, there's a 91-point spread. Credit scores range between 300 and 850, and it's broken into categories from bad to excellent. So where do you stand? According to the analysis done by the most widely used credit score company, FICO, the people with the best credit are 60-year-old and plus, which is likely helped by the length of their credit history, naturally putting younger people at a disadvantage. As you can see, the average credit score rises with age, with 18 to 29-year-olds having the lowest average of 652, putting them in the fair category. If you need to work on your credit, make your payments on time and try using the least amount of your credit card limit as possible. Those are both good places to start.
President Donald Trump will deliver his first ever State of the Union to Congress and the American people on Tuesday. Most of his speech will be devoted to domestic issues, with some discussion of foreign policy, and officials say the message behind Trump's address will be safe, strong, and proud America. And Panera Bread has issued a nationwide recall of cream cheese products because of a potential listeria contamination. No illnesses have been reported, but tests on one variety on a single production day showed a positive result for the bacteria. The recall applies to products with expiration dates of April 2nd, 2018 or earlier. And Tiger Woods said he was very pleased with his PGA Tour return play at the Farmers Insurance Open, but visibly displeased during a putt on the 13th. Here's why.
Oh, that was right in the middle of the stroke.
That spectator was asked to leave, and Tiger went on to par the hole and birdie on the next.
Let's go to the New York Stock Exchange for our Fox Business Minute with your friend and mine, Nicole Pedlides. Nicole, I am hearing big things about the dental industry.
That's right, Richard. A new app is looking to shake up the dental industry by bringing affordable preventative care to more people. Floss Bar lets dental hygienists perform basic work. Think cleanings and flossing in the office where they work during the off hours. The company has agreements with 3 practices in Manhattan and is looking to expand. $1 million apparently is not enough to have a comfortable retirement anymore. This due to Americans living longer and low interest rates for savings accounts. The new magic number is at least 1.5 million. Well, how do you get there? One expert recommends workers set aside 25% of their pre-tax income. ATM makers are warning of jackpotting on U.S. machines. This is an attack on which cybercriminals hack into ATM machines and can sometimes dispense cash at a rate of 40 bills every 23 seconds.
Nicole, this is remarkable. Where is this happening?
Jackpotting has been on the rise worldwide in recent years. A Secret Service alert sent to banks said hackers targeted standalone ATMs, typically located in pharmacies, big box retailers, and drive-thrus.
Nicole, thank you for that update. Kristen, you're talking about the effects of cell phones.
Yeah, Richard, this next story will make you want to sit up straight. Doctors are seeing an increase in patients with neck and upper back pain. Many believe it's from spending too much time looking down at smartphones. In other words, text neck. The average human head weighs between 10 and 12 pounds. For every inch you hold your head forward, like when you're answering an email or browsing the web, the weight on your spine goes up by about 10 pounds. If you hold your head at a 60-degree angle, the weight is about 60 pounds. That can lead to a loss of the curve in your spine. It also creates an increased risk of muscle strain and back trouble because it can cause discs to move. Text neck is also bad for your brain. According to the National Center for Biotechnology Information, slouching can make us depressed. Posture impacts your mood, behavior, and even memory. There are some simple things you can do to help. Holding your phone higher can reduce the strain. Neck and posture exercise can help put things back in place. And there's also another possible solution: putting down the phone once in a while.
A Senate committee is backing a new proposal to move all of Florida into the same time zone while also pushing it to follow daylight saving year-round. The proposal, which has been dubbed the Sunshine Protection Act, received backing from Senate and House committees. This would move all of Florida into the Eastern time zone and put an end to the changing of the clocks twice a year. Sarasota Republican Senator Greg Stube, who's sponsoring the proposal, says, "I've heard from mayors from all across the state because they're going to save money on softball fields because it will stay light later in the day." Before the proposal could move to the Senate, it would need to be approved by the Commerce and Tourism Committee and the Rules Committee.
Some veterinarians thought outside of the box when treating two bears whose paws were burned in the recent California wildfires. The bears suffered third-degree burns, and rescuers used fish skin to put on the wounds. Joining me now are two vets who helped treat these bears using the fish skin: Deanna Clifford with the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, and Jamie Payton at the University of California at Davis. Whose idea was it to use the fish skin?
That would be me.
How did you come up with the idea?
I remembered, hearing about and reading about a group down in Brazil. The research group in Brazil has been doing a clinical trial using these fish skin biologic bandages essentially to help people with burns. And so I thought, you know what, that is a brilliant idea. And we actually contacted them to see if they could help us, but they couldn't ship them out of the country. So we thought, well, let's do it ourselves and see if we can make it work for this bear.
You ended up putting the fish skin on the bear's paws. How did the bears react to it?
It was incredible. The first time we put the fish skin on the first bear, immediately after waking up from anesthesia, she stood up and walked on the skins, and it was an instantaneous change.
What an amazing story. And it has a happy ending too. The fish skin helped the bears recover so quickly, they were released back into the wild earlier this month.
Last year, a third of all cars that were traded in were worthless. Bloomberg reports about 33% of trade-ins in 2017 were worth less than the loans consumers had taken out to get them, meaning the drivers were underwater. The average amount they were underwater by was more than $5,000. New car sales are slow. They were down almost 2% last year. To make up for lost revenue, some banks are agreeing to riskier loans, like lending to drivers with worse credit. When those underwater cars are traded in, the bank adds that debt onto the payment for the new car they're trading in for. The driver now has another brand new car worth less than their loan. It reminds one expert of the Great Recession, saying the same sorts of excesses are happening in car loans that happened in residential mortgages. Experts warn some banks might not realize how risky their car loans are until there's another recession. A recession which could be partly caused by their risky car loans. The head of finance for the Republican National Committee has resigned amidst allegations of sexual assault. And the head of finance for the RNC is Las Vegas casino mogul Steve Wynn. He is facing allegations from several women who worked at his properties. The Wall Street Journal reports Wynn allegedly forced one employee to perform a sex act and later paid her a settlement of $7.5 million. Wynn calls the stories preposterous. In the past year, he's helped raise about $130 million for the RNC. Wynn himself has given GOP candidates about $2.4 million. Democrats are putting Republicans under pressure to give that money back. The same pressure Republicans put Democrats under over donations from Harvey Weinstein. House Speaker Paul Ryan said he would donate $1,000 to charity after getting that amount from Wynn Resorts. Representatives Karen Handel and Greg Gianforte have also said they will donate campaign contributions. President Trump and Steve Wynn are close friends from the casino owners circuit.
In today's Hometown Stories from Fox 35 Orlando, some Girl Scouts donated their famous cookies to a deserving group, Orlando police officers. A few 6-year-olds from Troop 1430 got the idea when they went out to dinner one night. Several police officers came into the restaurant, and the girls' eyes lit up. They had some extra boxes of cookies and chose to give them to some of Orlando's finest. What a delicious way to give back to some local heroes. In our second story from Fox 2 Detroit, a family of 7 was forced to leave their home after they couldn't afford repairs to their furnace and hot water heater. But after Fox 2 told their story, the community rallied around them. Some local vendors stepped up and made the fixes free of charge. Family matriarch Trinita Brown was overcome with emotion and gratitude.
I'm very humble. I'm very appreciative. I will be doing a lot of praying and a lot of crying and a lot of thanking God, because this is God.
And what great news that this family finally got to go back home. In our final story from Fox 4 Dallas, this golden retriever is a seasoned caregiver with over 7 years of volunteer experience. Skeeter is a registered therapy dog, and at least 7 times a month, he goes to Cook Children's Medical Center to provide comfort to kids. And he loves to hold hands. One patient described the positive impact Skeeter has.
Oh, this is Skeeter come to visit.
I might have a bad day and it kind of just brightens my day.
And what a sweet service Skeeter provides.
The founder of Tesla could become the richest man in the world without cashing a single paycheck. Elon Musk will receive $0 in wages for the next decade. Instead, Tesla has set a dozen targets based on the company's worth. Each is $50 billion higher than the one before. Musk will receive stock options every time the company hits one of the milestones. Hitting all 12 means growing Tesla's value to an astounding $650 billion. That would earn Musk roughly $55 billion. It could make Musk the richest man alive. That title currently goes to Amazon chief Jeff Bezos with $108 billion. Musk is worth just over $21 billion, but also has other potentially lucrative ventures like SpaceX. Some say the plan is laughable. Today, Tesla is worth about $59 billion. It's not profitable and has repeatedly missed deadlines for products like its Model 3. Others have called it a publicity stunt. If that's what it is one that is working.
One little girl and 2 potbelly pigs are teaming up to help others during hard times. After experiencing the power of therapy animals when her mom was in the hospital pregnant with her brother on bed rest, 11-year-old Claire Barrow decided she wanted to extend that same comfort to others. So her family adopted Thunder and Bolt, 2 potbelly pigs, brothers, who are as cute as they come. Claire worked with Thunder and Bolt every day, socializing them and training them to be professional helpers. And it wasn't always easy. Pigs can be stubborn, but Claire was patient and determined. At 10 months old, the 2 little piggies became certified therapy pigs, and they went to work. They visit hospitals, nursing homes, schools. Wherever their lovin' can make a difference, they go. They do more emotional therapy. Even when the kids are sick, the pigs always cheer them up. The kids love petting the pigs, and the pigs love belly rubs, Claire says. It's amazing to see this 11-year-old make such an impact, teaching these pigs how to help others. But Claire says Thunder and Bolt have taught her something too. You're never too small to make a difference. It's time to celebrate, Canada. You're number 2. According to the U.S. News and World Report's list of best countries, Switzerland, Canada, Germany, the U.K., and Japan took the top 5. Several evaluation categories were used, like social policies, economic power, gender equality, and religious freedom. But new this year was the category of major world leaders, with Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and German Chancellor Angela Merkel deemed the most respected leaders globally. Sweden, Australia, the United States, France, and the Netherlands filled out the top 10, with New Zealand ranked as the most comfortable for retirement and Thailand the best place to start a new business. And Canada claimed the number 1 spot for quality of life. Pretty awesome, eh?
Google introduced a new feature that allows you to mute ads that follow you around the web. People who look at products for sale online or have items sitting in an online checkout cart probably notice ads for those items pop up on various websites, and of course that's no coincidence that advertisers set them to show up for about a month after you view their products. But Google updated a couple of settings to prevent you from continuously hearing these adverts. All you have to do is go to the ad settings when signed into your Google account, then go to the Your Reminder Ads section and hit the X next to the ads you don't want to see again. Right now, the feature applies to Google's network of ads, which reaches 90% of people on the web, but the company plans to expand the feature to YouTube search and Gmail in the coming months.
Running 1 marathon is hard. How about running 57? Dave Jones is the first person to run 7 marathons on all 7 continents in 7 days and a marathon in all 50 states in the same year. He joins us now, and Dave, I just have to start by asking one thing. Why?
Well, I just could not make the urges for nicotine go away, quite frankly. And so I decided to start an experiment of one. And I hated running so much that every time I got the urge to use nicotine, I took off running. Did that for about 3 weeks. And after 3 weeks' time, I walked in and told my wife, if I'm going to run this much, I'm going to run a marathon. And since then, I have run about 90.
And I hear you've actually gotten your family involved.
My daughter is 8 years old. She ran her first marathon with me this year. My wife also ran her first half marathon with me in Hawaii when I did my 50th state just last week. So the family has really gotten on board. My family and friends have gotten behind me. It's been an incredible display of support.
Well, Dave, you are my hero. Congratulations, my friend. Field of Dreams is probably one of the most beloved baseball movies of all time. The 1989 classic stars Kevin Costner as a farmer in Iowa who's visited by the ghost of shoeless Joe Jackson after he's prompted to build a baseball field in the middle of his corn crop. The actual baseball field used for the movie has remained as a tourist attraction in Iowa for nearly 30 years. But a vandal recently destroyed it by plowing a truck through the infield and outfield.
This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again.
And it will be. A GoFundMe page quickly raised the $15,000 required to repair the field and sprinkler system. Thank goodness, close to 70,000 people visit the field every year.
A surgeon is testing a life-saving procedure that would drop a patient's body temperature to almost 50 degrees. Dr. Samuel Tischerman is testing the process on the most severely injured gunshot or stabbing victims. It involves injecting ice-cold salt water into the largest artery in the body. This drops the body's temperature by more than 40 degrees. The temperature is so low, the patient does not have a pulse or brain activity for up to an hour. This is beneficial because most critically injured patients suffer from lack of oxygen and then death in just 5 minutes. So the freezing procedure gives doctors more time to treat the patient. Dr. Tischerman has tested this on animals over the past 2 decades and says they have no detectable brain damage. He expects the trials to take about 2 years before learning how effective the procedure is on humans.
Things got a little tubular at the Metropolitan Museum of Art when Michelangelo, the Ninja Turtle, visited a new exhibition based on his namesake, Michelangelo Buonarroti. Michelangelo, the famed Renaissance painter and sculptor behind the iconic marble statue David, as well as the ceiling painting known as the Sistine Chapel. The beloved Ninja Turtle experienced the exhibit titled Michelangelo, Divine Draftsman Designer, which includes 133 of the master's drawings, marble sculptures, his earliest painting, and a wood architectural model of a chapel vault. Michelangelo and his three brothers, Donatello, Leonardo, and Raphael, were all named after Renaissance painters. Even though the party dude is just visiting it, the exhibition opened in mid-November and will be on display at the Met until February 12th. Hey Richard, what's coming up on the next show?
Kristen, we're talking about opioid treatment. Several products are marketed as cures for addiction, but there's a problem. Some are fake. Plus, these are the first ever double beds on a plane, but comfort doesn't come cheap, and a team of retired Navy SEALs and police do whatever it takes to save teens in danger. It is all coming up on the next Top 30.